Hi, Hawks. Hello, it's me again. I promise it's going to be more interesting than yesterday, but hi, nice to see you. It is Tuesday, August 24th. I am excited to share with you something kind of new that we're going to be doing every Tuesday and Thursday. And I won't be alone doing this. Kumu Gaspar will be with me starting next week, Tuesday and Thursday. But before we get to that, I'm going to head into some updates for all of you. But first of all, congratulations. I know many of our classrooms in 8th grade did complete part of their iReady exam. So thank you. Thank you for doing a great job in being really focused and doing your best. I know it's not a fun little test, but sometimes, right, even if it's not fun, we can still make pretend it's fun, right? Okay, maybe you don't believe that, but thank you for doing your best. Everything that we do, we got to do well. Try our best to do well. I'm sorry. A lot of times the things I do, I don't do well, but I still try my best. You know what I mean? Okay, my friends. So yes, iReady testing this week for 8th graders in your English classes and your math classes. So mahalo for getting started. Thank you so much. Some of you got started today. Thank you very much for that. So you're going to be finishing it out this week. Next week, it will be iReady testing for our 7th graders. And then the week after that is going to be iReady testing for our 6th graders. All right? Okay, and it will be in your math classes or your English language arts class. All right, thank you. Another announcement, Kumutupo, who was here last week filling in for me, wanted to remind you, uplink today. Today is uplink. Every day is uplink, actually. Remember, you check in at 2:33 p.m. in the cafeteria. And thank you for having ahonui as you wait in that long line. And while you're waiting in that long line, you know what you can do? You can pull out a book and read, right? You can imagine wonderful things in your head about what you're going to do when you get into the cafeteria. But while you're waiting, please have ahunui. We are trying our best to make sure you guys get into the cafeteria quickly for power hour. And also, Kumutsupo wanted to remind you that if you have your barcode that you use that has your student ID number and a barcode to purchase meals, bring that with you to uplink today so that it's really easy to check you in. All right. And so I don't want you to think that just because you didn't sign up for Uplink that you can't come. Anybody can come to Uplink. Anybody. Well, anybody who's a student at our school. If you go to another school, you cannot come. So make sure you bring the barcode because we can just scan the barcode and register you right away. If not, we're going to ask your name and your grade level before we let you in to have power hour where you're going to enjoy wonderful snacks. My favorite is actually the kettle corn. And then the 3 clubs we have today. Are you ready, folks? The 3 clubs today. So even though you didn't sign up for these clubs, if you are interested in coming to the clubs that I'm going to show you today, come on down at 2:33. Head straight to the cafeteria. It's free. Everything is free. And we'll sign you up when you get there. Okay, the first one, if you like artistry and all things that Miss Starr loves, we have drawing today. Yes, we have drawing. And I think it might be with Mr. Biesinger. I remember stepping into his class last quarter and I was making lots of noise, but they were really engrossed in the task that Mr. B was teaching them, and it was drawing. Fantastic art comes out of drawing. So drawing today is one of the clubs that you can head into after power hour. So remember, even if you didn't sign up ahead of time, you can still come down and join into drawing. Thank you. Also, another kind of club that we have all the time, every single day, is tutoring. So if already you are seeing, even if you cannot figure out your Google Classroom, because I was having trouble figuring out my Google Classroom, Miss Pereira today had to email me Mrs. Flavor, your students don't know where your Meet link is. So thank you, Miss Pereira, for that. So I'm going to need some tutoring in sharing the Meet link with my distance learner students. But even if it is learning how to look at the Google Meets, or look at your Google Calendar, or look at just your Google Classroom and figure out where everything is, that's also tutoring. We can help you with that. We have lots of fabulous Akamai, Kumu, and Homana who can help you in the cafeteria today. All right? Tutoring. So make sure if you're really interested in this, so you don't only have to get tutoring in Google Classroom, maybe you need some help in 6th grade math, or maybe you need some help in 7th grade Hawaiian studies. People are there to help you. Okay, fantastic. And the other club, I bet I know who's teaching this club. Soccer, football, football. Soccer is happening. I have a feeling it is the wonderful Coach Knowlton who is teaching this. I heard him talking to students about it today. They were really excited. They were asking him, when's soccer? And he was like, today. So check into the cafeteria, bring your lunch, your meal barcode if you have it. So it's a really quick check-in. Have ahunui as you're waiting to be checked in. And then you can go to one of these three clubs, soccer, tutoring, or drawing. All right? Fantastic. And I just want to give a special shout out to the cricket club. So cricket club, here's my hydro flask. And Dr. Furtado, I drank it all an hour after you left my office. So yes, I'm doing my best to drink some water. But look, the cricket club made fabulous stickers for me. And actually, they are going to be awarded with a brand new, a brand new cricket with lots of material to make even more stickers and designs. We're going to drop it off to their teacher, Kumu Pereira, today. But mahalo to the cricket club. So here's another club on campus that you can visit. So if you don't want to draw, but you just want to use your brain and your fingers to type on the computer, you would want to join this club, cricket. If you're super imaginative, creative, join the cricket club with Kumu Pereira. Yesterday was Monday, and that's when they had cricket club. So make sure you do that. And more exciting, interesting clubs coming up. So stay tuned. I know that tomorrow, right, our student Alakai are going to take over the principal live, and I'm sure they're going to have a lot of information about their own leadership club and what's coming up. All right, my friends. So we're going to head into this part 2 of our Tuesday and Thursday principal advisory update. And while I'm doing that, if you have any questions about anything that I've said, you can go ahead and type into the chat. Oh, one more thing before I head into our Aina Aloha segment about natural resources. Those of you who are in Miss Shori's class, Mr. Biesinger's class, or Mr. Davis's class, you guys tomorrow are going to be getting a special envelope of information about the test you took last quarter. And I would like to give a big round of applause to all of the students who took that test. You guys did very well. We did well. We did better than last year. I mean, the year before last year. So that was great. It's called the Help Explain What's on that WIDA test to you, but you're also going to take it home to whoever is in charge of you, and you're going to talk story about what the WIDA test is and what strengths you have from that test, and maybe what are some areas that you might want to work on. So those of you students who have Miss Shori, Mr. Biesinger, or Mr. Davis, you're going to be getting your WIDA results tomorrow in your advisory classes. So I look forward to seeing the smiles on your faces when you see how well you did. Okay, here we go. So I did email you at about 11:55 a.m. All of the Haumana here who are watching, I emailed you. You look in your email. You have something for Mrs. Blaber, and it is what I'm heading into right now. So I'm not an expert on Olelo Hawaii or all things Hawaiian. I believe Kumu Gaspar is, so she's going to be like my main co-teacher here. But we wanted to continue the work that we were doing in quarter 3 and quarter 4 of last year, when we were thinking more deeply about what does aloha mean, right? And thinking about how it aligns to our vision. Relationships are the heart of all learning. And as a school, we decided that that we were going to learn more about aloha, and that we were going to take a look at the career pathways, like all of the different careers that are available in Hawaii or even in the world. Like maybe you want to move to India one day. What are some careers there? But we would start with natural resources. So natural resources, think about that, natural and resources, right? Things that you don't have to necessarily make, that maybe Mother Earth makes them. And resources, things that are in our community already, right? Like water. Like if I look out on my balcony, I see the Pacific Ocean. There's so many resources in there. And that's why we have Levaita, the fishermen, to fish. So we're going to start today with, you'll see in your email, I sent you a little Google form that is just a quick, you're going to let me know What are the different terms you are relearning? I think you know all of these terms already, but we're always going to start with the land, and that's natural resources. Natural resources is, what does our aina, our land, give to us that we need to malama, right? And so depending on where you live, there are different natural resources on your land. Here in Hawaii, you guys know this word already, the Ahupuaa. So what's the Ahupuaa? I know all of you know, especially from learning from Kumu Gaspar in 6th grade, or if you had Mrs. Nahuina in 7th grade, or Miss Kabatbat, already about the Ahupuaa. The Ahupuaa is, it was what our Hawaiians called land divisions of different parts of the island. And usually the land division would start from like the summit, the very top of the mauna, all the way into the ocean to the coral reefs. That's our Ahupuaa. So I wonder, because I want to be a scientist, I wonder, like, how many Ahupuaa do we have on Hawaii Island? Do we only have one? Do we have more than one? And I bet Miss Furtado could answer that question in the chat. And I bet Mrs. Nahuina could too. And maybe Mr. Harlan and Mr. Nahuina. But I wonder how many Ahupuaa we have here on our island. I do know one, though, that our school is in. What is the Ahupuaa that our school is currently in? I know you know the answer. It is Kealakehe, yes. So the name of our Ahupuaa that the school is in, I think many of you live in, is Kealakehe. So remember, Ahupuaa is a land division, the traditional term for a land division that usually is land from the top of the mountain to the edge of the coral reef. So everything that's in it, like you're going to find, right, different kind of plants and animals, and then the kind of fish, right, on the coastal areas of Kealakehe. But Kealakehe is our Ahupuaa. And I know many of you already know, what does Kealakehe mean? I was talking to Kumu Gaspar last night on the phone, and she was telling me that she had chicken skin talking to Kumu Kealaching about the history of Kealakehe and the stories behind why it got its name and what is here that we have to remember that we have, and to malama it back. So Kealakehe means, right, loosely, I mean, I think it can mean the crooked road, the winding road. I'm going to go with the winding road. Ke ala kehe, the winding road. Here's my wondering, why is it called the winding road? I wonder. So I have a feeling Kumu Gaspar, when we see her next week, she is going to tell us some stories about why it might be called Kealakehe. All right, so we are in the Ahupuaa of Kealakehe, and we are in a large land district of the island called the Moku. So the Moku is part of an island district. So our Moku, take a wild guess. What is our Moku? If our Ahupuaa is Kealakehe, if Moku is part of an island, what's the name of our Moku? If you said Kona, you are correct. So we are in the Moku of Kona. Yes. And you also know this. I think like the island that we are on is the best island ever. We are in the Mokupuni of the Hawaii Island. The entire island is a Mokupuni. All right, my friends. When you come back, because I think the 8th graders are going to lunch, take a look at your email and do the Google form on it. You're going to go to a really interesting site on it that shows the different islands, and I want you to observe and jot down some kilo. All right, my friends, thank you so much. Have a good day. Aloha.